Hey there, it's Matt. It's 12:45 a.m. on December 13th, 2023, and I am coming back with another video about my journey as a package handler at UPS as a side hustle in addition to a full-time job. Being that this is the middle of December, we're mm, halfway roughly through the peak shipping season for this year, and I wanted to talk about two primary topics. The first one being like the overall pay and the difference between like peak and non-peak as it relates to pay, and then the second one being handling peak season with a full-time job. And so, on the first one, the we had talked previously about the general pay for an early morning package handler, at least at my hub in Indiana, has been getting between 20 and 25 hours of work each week for a 5 day work week. And those paychecks were after taxes were in the range of 425 to $450. That is at a pay rate of $21 an hour, with getting overtime for any hours past five in a given day, and then um, with taxes removed as I'm looking at just the net pay that you receive after taxes. Obviously, the tax situation could be different for each person. So during peak season here, I've had a couple of weeks worth of paychecks, and those checks after taxes are a little more than double what the non-peak ones were. So first of all, in terms of hours, getting much closer to the range of 40 hours. So just under or just over 40 hours. To make that happen, we're actually working 6 days a week now, and working significantly longer than 5 hours a day. Most days is in the range of 7 to 8 hours. So instead of going in at between 3:30 and 4 a.m., we're going in closer to 1 a.m. and leaving it at roughly 9 a.m. So significantly longer hours, but that converts into significantly more money as it relates to take home pay. So with that said, we'll you know we kind of count on then that roughly $450 a week paycheck during non-peak season, and then for 4 weeks of peak season, that check's going to be closer to $1,000. So that's going to be short-lived, but while it's there, it's super nice to have, and certainly around the Christmas season, that probably works out very well for a lot of people. Secondly, though, my other topic being how is it going handling peak season with a full-time job. And this is where I would say this is definitely tough, because having a full-time job, an 8 hour a day Monday to Friday job, what this is doing essentially is adding another job on top of that that's 6 days a week now during peak season instead of five. So we're going Monday through Saturday, and most of those days are 7 to 8 hour days. So what that amounts to for me is roughly 16-hour days worth of work, Monday through Friday, uh, an additional uh, an additional 6 to 8 hour day on Saturday, and then a couple hours worth of driving for me to get uh, to and from jobs. So I will say, for me personally, while a lot of the UPS part-time staff I think really likes peak season for the amount of hours they get and the extra pay they get, while those things are objectively good, for handling peak with leaving those 7 8 hour shifts and then going to a full-time job, it is definitely tough, and I am certainly looking forward to getting past Christmas and getting back to a normal schedule. I do think that going back to a shorter shift is going to feel significantly easier. So I had talked about, as I got started, which was prior to peak season, um, the difficulty, kind of physical difficulty, and just kind of getting your body and mind prepared for waking up early in the morning, doing a very physical job, and then heading off to do a full-time job. Um, those shifts are now going to seem so significantly shorter because I've spent these 4 weeks of peak season doing very long shifts and cutting down, from 8-hour shifts back to something like 4 to 5 is going to feel very short, and also going to feel like it's not coming in as early, because coming in at 1 a.m. is significantly different to me mentally, where your alarm is really needing to go off in the prior day. So when I come in at 1 a.m. to work, my alarm's going off at 11:30 p.m. the day before, in order to get up and get there ready to work at 1. When we get past peak season and we're having to come in closer to like 4 a.m., that feels, kind of mentally significantly different. Doing a few hours there, going to a full-time job will feel significantly easier than it does right now. So obviously that will work out differently for different people. It has been good for me to develop some stamina in getting through a double work day each day. But I will say also, my full-time job has very good benefits, time away benefits. We have some options for a certain number of days or weeks throughout the year to work remotely. And so I have been utilizing those benefits at my full-time job to kind of minimize the impact of the peak season here. So I've taken a few days off where I've needed to, and taken the opportunity to work remotely some where I need to. So instead of leaving UPS and going straight into being in the office for 8 hours, instead I am able to leave UPS and go home and work, which is significantly more kind of comfortable, less stress, and that sort of thing than going and being in front of people for 8 hours during the day. So obviously those opportunities will be different for different people and different types of full-time jobs, but I certainly through peak season have been utilizing my full-time jobs, time away, and workplace flexibility benefits in order to kind of make working through peak season a little bit easier. With that said, for me personally, I get to work from home after this week for the rest of the calendar year. So I'm very much looking forward to finishing out this week, and then I've got a week left to go before Christmas, where we'll have peak hours at UPS, and then I'll get to come home, finish my full-time job day at home, and then be looking towards Christmas. So I hope this finds everybody well. I know that there's been a lot of good conversation, questions, comments, and kind of supportive feedback for questions people have had in the comments section. And so I would just encourage you to keep that up, keep encouraging each other, keep encouraging other people around you. It's very easy during a peak season like this. We're really in the throes of it to get frustrated, and I think just being a point of light for positivity in the environment around you can not only help other people, but it can help you, because the environment that you're in then is more positive and easier to show up to every day. I still maintain that this job has challenges, but I am very much enjoying it. I actually love going into work every day. I'm very much enjoying the people that I'm working around. So I know a lot of people jump immediately with an opportunity like this to saying, "Oh, there's problems with it. There are difficulties in it," and there certainly are. But for me, at this point, being that the side hustle money is kind of nice to have, the morning physical workout every day is great, and sticking around with this job, we getting fully paid medical benefits for the family is an awesome option too. I'm not there yet, but I will be over the coming months, and we'll talk about that more when we get there. So until then, I hope this finds everybody well. If you have any questions at all, put them down in the comments below, and we will talk to you next time. Bye bye.